Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for coming out to honor Donna and memorialize this bench that's been set here, so she'll forever be remembered here at Pine Tree Village. My name is Paul Bradley, and I'm the president of Rock USA. And I'm just going to make a few remarks, and Larry, who's going to make a few remarks, and I'm sure we'll invite anyone else who would like to make any memorial remarks. Donna Cardy was a really special co-op leader. I know a lot of co-op leaders from around the country. I took great affection for Larry and Donna as regular participants in the Leadership Institute, and there's something about these two that just, for me, I always looked forward to seeing them, always looked forward to political discussions with Larry, but always just loved Donna's commitment to Pine Tree Village. And it's true of a lot of co-op leaders. The dedication to place that she represented is typical of so many of you here, of other co-op leaders from other co-ops, and it's what's so inspiring about the opportunity to work with communities who take on co-op ownership and self-governance and all the challenges, but it's what is so reaffirming about what I so much love about what I get to do professionally, but what you all do as volunteers and homeowners, and it's just so special to be a part of. So I thank you for welcoming Mike and I and Eliza into Pine Tree Village to share this with you. We brought Deb Winowitz from Halifax Estates Co-op and a friend, Dottie. Deb was elected to the Rock Association as the New England representative and spoke last night in Cambridge and knocked the socks off some folks that are really critical to helping support resident-owned communities. So thank you,
thank you,
Deb and Dottie, for joining us. I first came to Pine Tree Village, actually probably one of the reasons I have such affection for Larry. I first came here when the community was deciding whether to purchase or not. For Rock USA, you know, we're a 15-year-old nonprofit organization who started off in 2008 to make resident ownership possible across the country. We had a lot of experience in New Hampshire. You know, we've been helping homeowners in New Hampshire since 1984, but we just took off nationally in 2008 to try to make resident ownership work in other places too. And what Pine Tree and Cranberry Village together represented was a very significant step because these were large properties and not inexpensive properties. You know, this was over $20 million together, you and Cranberry. And for a small, we were very small, we're not that big today, but that was a big dollar commitment. And so there was a lot of consternation, a lot of hard work here in the communities by Cooperative Development Institute, by our team to help try to make this all work. And so I came down with Michael Sloss to meet with both boards, and we met over at Cranberry Village's meetings hall, and Larry, sitting in the front row, questioned me very strenuously about where we got our money and why would we do business with Bank of America, and we shouldn't be doing business with Bank of America, and it was all great because it's all, you know, information we all have to just be transparent about, and the reality is it takes a lot of money, and we got to get the banks to do what they need to do. But anyways, what really was super interesting to me in this particular set of communities was the competing buyer was Sam Zell's equity lifestyle out of Chicago, and that's what's going on around the country. Is the biggest real estate investment trusts are buying up communities and really raising rents. So this is a major threat to a lot of communities, but because of forward-looking, hard questioning leaders like yourselves, like Larry, and dedicated co-op leaders like Donna, some communities are off of the speculative real estate market and secure. And the bench and what's stated on the bench is a true statement. The leadership that Donna provided here is supporting homeowners' desire around the country to get ownership and control of their land. It's not overstated, because what Pine Tree and Cranberry together represented showed that it was possible for large, expensive communities with dedicated people behind them of what can be done. So when there was an opportunity to recognize Donna and put a permanent memorial here, thank you to the leadership, past and present, of Pine Tree Village to make way for that, because I think it's perfectly appropriate and fitting for Donna to be remembered this way, and so we can all come visit with her when we're here. And thank you for putting the flowers out, April, wherever you are, Jane, wherever you are. Yeah, there you are. Because it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's very special. So, my friend, you have a few remarks?
Sure. I know that most everybody here knew Donna. For those of you that maybe didn't know her, or the people who are, I understand it's being live streamed, so the people watching may not have known her. So, a couple of things very quickly about her. When Paul mentioned this outfit ELS, that's how this happened, because this outfit was looking to buy this park and basically drive up the rents, chase everybody out, make everybody sell their homes at pennies on the dollar, and then turn it into some luxury place for rich people. Fortunately, Massachusetts has a right of first refusal law, where if the residents of a community like this can come up with an offer that is substantially the same as the one the corporation is offering, they have to sell it to us, not to the corporation. Somebody heard about Rock USA, and so there was a couple of public meetings we had. We got together over at the high school and decided we're going to go for this. I think it was the second meeting we decided that. At that point, to do this, you needed to have a board that could see you through the purchase. It had to be volunteers, because you didn't have an organization to elect them. They had to be volunteers. Well, 5 people volunteered for that board. Donna was one of them. When we had our first elected board, she was elected as a member at large. She later became secretary. She later became president. Which means from the day we decided to do this until the day she died, Donna Carty was part of the governance of this place. She was part of the leadership of this place. She was part of what helped make it what it is now. She was part of that all the way through. She gained a reputation over those years. One of the things I remember that, there came a point where she was, during the time she was secretary, that if ever an issue about the rules or what the rules said came up, it wasn't, let's look at the rules, it was, ask Donna. She knew those rules. She would quote them chapter and verse. She spent so much time, when we were setting up the bylaws and we had to consult with the state about whether the rules and the bylaws comported with state law, she was on the phone with them so much that they became on first name basis. Hey Andy, it's Don. She became known as somebody that could help you. The first couple of property managers we had ultimately didn't work out. There were issues or problems, things that weren't getting done. Thank you, Bristol South, for resolving that issue. But Donna became known as a person who, if you had an issue that didn't seem to get resolved, you called Donna, because she could either take care of it or she could tell you exactly who you needed to contact and how to have it taken care of. For more than a year after she died, I still had people who hadn't heard that she died calling me, looking for her because they had a problem they needed help with. That's the kind of reputation that she had in this community. So I'm very grateful to Rock USA for providing this bench. I'm grateful to the board for approving it. I'm grateful for everybody that showed up today. One of the original board members of that volunteer board is a guy named Billy Fraser. He's since died. But he once said that he estimated that there were 2 people in this community, just 2 people in this community, who could do any job on that board and do it well. And Donna was one of them. That's who she was, and that's who she was for this community. And I miss her terribly. So, just to finish up, that she always liked me to sing to her. I didn't do as much as she wanted, but she always liked me to sing to her. So just one last time, in her memory, the song that was at that time her favorite song. You're my peace of mind in this crazy world. You're every treasure I could find. Your love is a pearl. You're my Mona Lisa. You're my rainbow skies. And my greatest hope is you'll realize you'll always be beautiful in my eyes. The world will turn and the seasons will change, and all the lessons we will learn will be beautiful and strange. We'll have our fill of tears, we'll have our share of sighs, and my greatest hope is still you'll realize you're always beautiful in my eyes. You will always be beautiful in my eyes. And the passing years will show that you will only grow ever more beautiful in my eyes. There are lines upon my face from a lifetime of smiles, and when the time comes to embrace for one long last while, we will laugh about how time really did fly, but we won't say goodbye, 'cause true love never dies. You'll always be beautiful in my eyes. You will always be beautiful in my eyes. And the passing years will show that you will only grow ever more beautiful in my eyes. And the passing years did show that you did only grow ever more beautiful in my eyes. Thank you, Rock. Thank you, Donna.
Very nice. Thank you.
And as for me, I'm going to go sit on the bench.
The official first sit down, Larry.
This is a place. This is not a memorial. This is a place to come sit a spell. And I encourage everybody to do precisely that. That's it, I'm done. Stop looking at me.
She'd be so pleased, Larry, with all that.
Really good.
Beautiful.
Actually, that's one other thing I should say. She would be pleased. She would probably have said no to the bench
Yep.
because
yeah.
she
Oh,
would have.
gosh.
She would
And,
have.
and if she was here now, I guarantee she would be. If there is a heaven and she's looking down, she is as embarrassed as all hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm not. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You were about.
A
Very
beautiful
good.
tribute, Larry.
Yeah. Very nice.
Very good.
So I guess anybody else who feels like saying anything, like Paul suggested,
Yeah.
now's the time. If not, then don't.
Okay, I will.
Lovely,
Hold on,
Jane.
do I have to? Oh, I have to be over there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Serious?
So,
Yeah.
You can't hear me from here?
No. Sit on the bench.
part of your exercise regimen.
Rimini, really? Okay. No, I'm not going to sit on the bench. But I will stand here. So I worked very closely with Donna for a lot of years. 5 years, I think I was on the board altogether. So probably 3-4 years I worked with her. Learned a lot from her. We butted heads. Oh, did we butt heads? But we'd laugh too. It'd be over. We'd have our moment. It would be over. We had so many laughs. Her and I would just, she'd call me and we'd just laugh hysterically. Like sometimes we didn't have to even say anything. She was great. She really was. Yeah. I know that Dottie too, who was on the board for quite a few years and passed just recently. She pushed to have this bench and have the memorial for Donna. She's looking down happy about it. I know that. She missed Donna terribly. Marilyn. We lost a lot of people that year. It was rough. All of a sudden we just lost a lot. But yeah, Donna did a lot here. She really did. She was great. Yep. And then you two, I walked in on you two at the RLI in 2019. You were in one of the large rooms. I don't know what it was. Like a lounge kind of thing.
yeah.
Sit and hang out. Right by the kitchen. And I walked in, checked, stuck my head in, and you two were just sitting, hugging, and you looked so comfortable with each other, and so I felt like get out of here. But you could see there was so much between you two. It was really nice. So yeah, that's all I have. I'm sorry. I know you're missing her, and I appreciate the emails you've sent to me and back and forth. We've been emailing back and forth, and it's been very helpful to me, and I hope to you. And yeah, I found a beautiful picture of her. I sent to you at my house. We had a party one day.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. She was smiling. Oh, it was wonderful. It was like the best picture. So that was really good. I was pleased to find that. But that's all I have.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. Oh, thank you.
Well, then the silence says to me that I guess we're about done here.
It was really special. Thanks everyone for
Thank you
coming
for
out.
coming. Thank you. Truly.
We
thank
have
you for
coffee
coming.
and treats in the office if anyone wants to come.
If anybody wants some veggies, some
Sure.
fruit, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Coffee and
use
treats.
facilities, whatever.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I'll make your
That'll be
coffee.
good. Larry, please come
I'll
in.
make your coffee.
We'll sit a spell.
He is, right, Maria.
Right, we will